Hello everyone, it's good to be with you once again, and this week we're thinking about some of those big questions that you've asked us. Um, this week we're going to be considering, what is the church? What do you think of when I say the word church? Like me, you might first think of a building. Just look at those three pictures of church buildings. They're from our parish. These are buildings, places where Christians come together for praise, for worship, and for fellowship. But the church can also mean something different. It can mean people, a community of believers like you and like me, who come together on Sundays and maybe throughout the week to worship and to pray to God. 2,000 years ago, Jesus made 12 special friends and called them his disciples. And the disciples started teaching about the life of Jesus. And many saw what they were doing and wanted to become themselves followers of Jesus. They wanted to become Christians. Back in the early days, many Christians used to meet together to worship in their own homes. However, these homes became too small because lots of people wanted to join in. And so special places with lots of room for everyone to be welcomed in were built. Church buildings were made and spread out into every community. In England, there is usually a church building in every community. Sometimes there may be 2 or 3 church buildings. And the church, as the people of God, began to grow to the point where there are so many Christians spread across the world today. And so we have the church, which can mean church buildings or the people of God. Buildings where we meet to worship, and a group of people who believe in Jesus. So then, our big question is, what does the church actually do? For this, we'll need to look into our Bibles at the New Testament. Let's look at Acts chapter 2 to see what the early church did and what we are called to do. I'll begin. They devoted themselves to the apostles' teaching and to fellowship, to the breaking of bread and to prayer. Everyone was filled with awe at the many wonders and signs performed by the apostles. All the believers were together and had everything in common. They sold property and possessions to give to anyone who had need. Every day, they continued to meet together in the temple courts. They broke bread in their homes and ate together with glad and sincere hearts, praising God and enjoying the favor of all the people. And the Lord added to their number daily those who were being saved. So then, what does the church actually do? What can we learn from the early church, from our New Testament reading? Well, the story of the early church tells us that Christians gather together to hear people teach about Jesus, and they spent time together as friends. They shared meals and prayed together in their homes. They helped each other and were generous. And most importantly, they worshipped God together. So what does the church actually do today? What does it mean to be the church? Well, being the church today means we do exactly the same sorts of things those early followers of Jesus did. We meet on Sundays and or throughout the week. We take part in the Eucharist, that special meal to celebrate that Christians celebrate, where we share bread and wine to remember this meal that Jesus had with his friends. We sing songs and hymns to praise God. Do you have a favourite hymn or song? We come together to hear stories from the Bible and to learn about the life of Jesus and how we can be better Christians, how we can share the love of Jesus with each other, our friends, to grow in kindness and thoughtfulness. We also come together to pray, Prayer is actually that special talk we have with God, where we talk and listen, where we listen carefully to the direction God has for our lives. And God is so good that he will help us when we are happy or sad or sick, or even when we are in trouble. And we also pray for the needs of the world and for each other. And let's not forget to thank God for his wonderful creation and for creating us in his image. Do you have a special prayer today that you would like to say to God? But most of all, we come to church to have fun, to learn, to pray, to sing, to meet our friends. There's loads to do and lots of reasons to come to church and to be the church. There's one final question that you've asked me before we end today. Do Christians invite friends over for dinner? Well, this is a really, really good question. Christians, I believe, are called to be hospitable, to be welcoming and to be kind, and to share their time with other Christians. And this shouldn't always happen inside a church building. I'm sure many Christians invite their friends over for dinner or for a cup of tea or a chat. There are so many wonderful ways we can be the church, the followers of Jesus, inside the church building and outside. However, I just want to say, if you want to invite a friend over for a meal, do remember to ask an adult first if it's okay. Well, my dear friends, it's nearly time to say goodbye. Today we've looked and answered some really big questions on what it means to be the church. And if you have any more, do let us know and we shall try our best to answer them. So thanks for listening and watching, everybody, and I hope to see you very soon. Take care, God bless, bye.